Between 900 and 1,000 Ghana cedis for the total sales.
900 just from
50 buckets. 50 buckets.
Okay.
They will chase the cocoa season. They will chase is basically the cocoa season.
Really?
Yes, if you have the customer base, they will chase the cocoa season. The reason is that one.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kelly Michael, and today we are going to treat urban farming, and I'm currently on DUET COIHAG Farms.
Wonderful.
He's currently doing something amazing. He has managed to convert every space in this house into a money-making machine. He is talking to a gentleman who is going to open our eyes how we can also make money right in the comfort of our homes. If this is your first time, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel so that we get bigger numbers. We can bring bigger people onto the channel.
Right, so my name is Reverend Abu Ibrahim. I am a pastor, and I am the founder of DUET COIHAG Farms. I manage this farm with my wife and my family.
What motivated this urban farming?
All right, so technically I can say that it's the high cost of vegetables on the market, especially if you realize that we are in this part of the world where you can grow almost everything you want to grow, but the cost of items on the market are so much. So the desire was, what can we do to mitigate the costs? Can we plant something at home? And we're in an urban area, so we said, let me start something in the bucket to see how it's going to work. And then we started, and we got the result we are looking for.
Currently, what do you?
All right, so currently I have tomatoes on the farm. I have some few lettuce on the farm. I have some few cabbages on the farm. I have some poultry as well. We have layers, and then we have some small catfish as well.
All on this?
Yes.
What's the size of this?
Oh, the size of this land is 100 by 100 feet, but we are just using a small portion of it because the house has taken almost majority part of it, so just a small portion. So the portion we are using is not up to 30 by 10 feet.
Okay. Yeah. So far, what can you tell us about the individual crops, the tomato and?
All right. So the tomatoes we have here is Padma F1. It's an indeterminate tomatoes. What it means is that it grows upwards. It doesn't die off unless you neglect it. And then it continues to produce from one cycle to the other. And then we have the lettuce here. As for lettuce, growing is not too difficult. So we grow it throughout the year. And then we have the cabbage as well. We go throughout the year. We had some habanero peppers, but we have harvested them. So some have been nested. We are preparing for the Christmas season.
Okay. So can you walk us through the process of starting this tomato production? Or this, yeah. All
right. So basically, if you want to start this tomato production, you will need your seed tray. You can see there are some leftover tomatoes in there. Our sacks are almost out, so we have some leftover there. You need a seed tray, and then you need your substrate or your cocoa pits for the nesting of the seeds. And then after 3 weeks to 4 weeks, you need to transplant them. So whether you decide to use the grower bags or the buckets, or you decide to use the sacks, whatever container is available, you transplant from the seed tray into the container, and then you nurture it gradually until you get to the maturity stage.
Before we get into the benefits of what you are doing, can you tell us about some of the challenges with?
Okay, so one major challenge we are facing now is the availability of water. So water is a major challenge. As you can see, some of the crops need water because for the past 1 month, we've not had inflow of water. What we do is that we get a supply of water from Ghana Water into our fish pond, and then the fishes will use the water, and then the waste water is used on the crops. So if you don't get water into the fish pond, you can't get the waste water into the crop. The reason is that using the Ghana water or the pipe-borne water to water the crops is expensive. But when you use them on the catfish,
Okay.
You make money out of the catfish, and then you use the wastewater from the catfish to water the crops. Then eventually you are able to break even or make some profit out of the usage of the water. So one major challenge is the availability of water.
Okay. Yeah. So with this one, let's do some cost breakdown.
Okay.
Before you get, how many quantity do you have here?
Currently, I have about 75 bags. The new bags are about 75 of them.
The old bags?
The old, I had 58 buckets.
58 buckets?
58 buckets, yes.
And you have harvested?
Yes, I've harvested the first cycle.
Okay. So let's walk through the 50.
Okay.
What to do.
Okay.
Well, how much did you spend?
Okay. A bucket averagely will cost 4 Ghana cedis. And this bucket, you are going to use it over and over until you want to destroy it, because they are plastics and they can manage the weather condition for quite some time. And if you are doing 50 bucket, that's about 200 Ghana cedis for your start. For soil, there's soil in abundance in Ghana. Any waste place or any dumping site you go, you get free soil. So I didn't buy the soil. And then the tomato seedling, a pack of the 100-gram tomato seedling is about 120 cedis. And you have 1,000 seedlings in there.
And you said the varieties were?
Padma indeterminate tomato, so Padma F1.
Okay.
It's an indeterminate tomato, all right. So if you have 1,000 in a pack and you're only taking 50 out of 1,000 to plant in the buckets, that costs you 200 cedis and the soil. Okay. Eventually, if you take away water and everything, and your first harvest, you're able to make 1,000 cedis. You should be able to make at least some profit out of the sales. Exactly. So when it comes to cost, the only thing that will be the major cost is the seedlings and then the buckets. But if you have waste bucket like old dispenser bottles, old buckets in the house, it means that the bucket cost is not a problem. Okay. All you need is the seedlings, you get the water, and then you are good. For the nursery, if you want to do the traditional nursery on the nursery bed. Okay, so I use the seed tray and the cocoa pit. Cocoa pit, a bag of cocoa pit at the local market is 35 Ghana cedis for 20 kilograms.
Okay.
Just 35 Ghana cedis. And the seed tray is 15 cedis. It can take about 105 seeds. Okay. So total, the cost is so marginal.
And you nurse the
plant
seedlings for how long?
Oh, for 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks.
So within the 4th week, we transplanted. Within the 4th week, we do the transplanting.
Did you have any challenge? What was the success rate?
Okay, so the challenge was that, first of all, I didn't know that the crop was indeterminate.
Okay.
So whilst it was growing, I was assuming that it's going to be the short tomato plants that I know. Okay. But eventually I realized that it needed a lot of sticks and stands to stand by so it doesn't break. So eventually most of them had their branches breaking down. Okay. Until I got to know that it was an indeterminate tomato variety that was given to me. Okay. Yes. So at the end of the day, I adjusted to it, and I'm getting to understand the crops day by day.
Okay.
Right.
Where did you learn all this? Because do you have any background in agriculture?
No, I have a background in theology. Okay. So I have no background in agric. Apart from the agric science we all did in JHS and SHS, which is basic for every Ghanaian student. Okay. So with that little knowledge and the availability of knowledge online, you can read 1 or 2 things and then you are good to go. Okay. So basically that is what where I gained the experience from.
Well, what about disease management and all those things they've been? Is it something easy?
Yes, disease management is a major problem. But with tomatoes, they are a bit resistant. Okay. Especially if the nursery stage is done well. Okay. The tomatoes are able to resist a lot of the diseases. But with the pepper, it's a problem. Managing diseases on pepper is a major problem.
Oh, you did pepper too?
Yes, I did pepper too. I did habanero pepper.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did have some habanero pepper. But for the tomatoes, I believe that from my experience, it is manageable. The disease is manageable.
You didn't get any?
No, I didn't get any infection so far.
Okay.
So we had a very good harvest, and then we are good to go.
How long did it take you before you started harvesting?
2 months and a week.
2 months and a week?
2 months and a week from transplanting.
Okay. Yes, what was the yield like?
So I can say that from my point of view, was a bumper harvest.
Okay.
But I didn't expect to have such success, and eventually we were overwhelmed by the success. Okay. So the yield was good.
So something that was meant for the family now.
Now eventually you have to give it out to people, and then let's sell it.
Okay. So let's talk about the selling part.
Yeah.
How did you sell it?
Okay, so we sold in kilograms.
Okay.
We just consider the amount of money people use to buy tomatoes on the market. So we went to buy the tomatoes in the market and realized that, okay, they sell 6 for 10 cedis.
Okay.
So we just weighed 6 of the size and realized that, okay, 6 of our size will give us 1 kilogram. So now 1 kilogram for 10 Ghana cedis. And it was okay because one, it was organic. The people knew the source of the tomatoes and they were comfortable enjoying the tomatoes because they know it's 100% organic, and that's what we produce. That's what we produce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's do the breakdown. I want to know how much you made from, or what quantity you made from.
So let me say, basically, we can peg it at around between 900 and 1,000 Ghana cedis for the total sales.
900 just from 50.
50 buckets. 50 buckets.
Okay.
For the
Was
total
this in that season when tomato was selling like 7,000 Ghana cedis?
No, I wish it was in the season. I would have made almost about 8,000. This was a season where there were so much tomatoes on the market.
Really?
But even that one, we were able to do that. So if you take away all the costs and all that, you will still have some coins to manage.
So wait, you said they are indeterminate.
Indeterminate,
Let's
yeah.
see.
So when we say indeterminate, so this one, the first harvest has taken place. So you can see the tomato crop is virtually like a skeleton.
Yeah.
So this is the second batch of fruiting.
Okay.
And even with the second batch, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 for the second batch.
Okay.
So if we supply it with enough water
Okay.
and there is enough compost in there, it should be as big as, let me show you one of the one of the first batch. It should be as big as this one. This is how big the first batch looked like.
Whoa.
So you can see this is the last tomato on this plant.
And the aroma is
Yeah, you can feel
nice,
that this is
yeah.
tomatoes. So the new batch are now following. So when we take this one out, then the rest will be the new batch. So basically that's how they indeterminate it. It just grows upwards. Okay. So if not for the water crisis, you should meet this one very fresh. But because of the water, we are managing the water. So we water small in the morning and small in the evening, just to keep it going.
You are utilizing the space.
Exactly. But with the hope that this new batch we are preparing this new batch for Christmas. Okay. So the point is that this was the learning stage. Okay. And this is the stage where we want to take it more commercial. So we have more of the transplanted tomatoes in the old buckets, in these bags as well. It does not look as if we have abandoned these ones, but we have learned our lessons because this is our first batch of tomatoes. So we are only applying the lessons we have learned to this second batch of tomatoes and the ones we are preparing for the Christmas season. That is why we are not bothered about this one anymore.
Okay. Right. The new one, how many are they? What's the price?
So the new one, the first batch, we have 75 bags. 75 bags, but we have about 300 behind.
300.
They are in the nursery area, so we are preparing for Christmas.
Will you have the space for them?
Because it's in bag, we are moving them from here to another place. Okay. Because we want to see if commercializing it by Christmas can give us some money.
Okay.
So there's another plot of land which is also an urban area that we are going to move all these bags. So the reason we are doing the expansion is so that we can really see the commercial value of tomatoes in bags. Okay. So we are moving from the bucket to the grower bags to see the real commercial value of tomatoes in bags.
Okay. My next question will have to be maintenance.
Yeah.
Is the work on here, is it difficult?
Yes, it's difficult.
The work is difficult?
Yeah, it's difficult because you need passion and then you need time. But the time is not necessarily full time. So what we do is I water in the morning and I water in the evening. But the passion is you are back from work, you are tired. You wish you would sleep. Okay. Who has sent you to do tomatoes? But middle of the night, you are there, you are pruning, and then you are watering tomatoes. In the morning, you want to go to work. Who has sent you again? But it's difficult, not as if no one can do it. It's difficult because you just need to sacrifice more time and energy to get the work done.
Okay.
To get the work done, yeah.
Aside, what are the other crops? I think you have cabbages.
The cabbages are struggling because of the the water crisis I spoke to you about.
Okay.
And so somebody gave us some seedlings. It's a purple cabbage. So we have tried it, and it's giving us the result we are looking for. The cabbage, we have harvested a lot of them, all because of the water crisis. Cabbage needs a lot of water.
These ones are looking more.
Yeah, because of the water. We are focusing the attention on the tomatoes. We have left the cabbage because it needs more water, and we don't have the water. The water crisis is really a problem for us.
So, is that your final conclusion on this one?
Yeah.
You will not do it again?
No, I will do cabbage again, but this one's, we can't maintain this one.
Okay.
With the amount of water it needs. If we are buying water from the tankers, we can't maintain it. Value for money we will not get.
Okay.
Value for money.
Well, what about the pepper you did? Why did you stop?
Oh yes, the pepper we did. The reason for stopping the pepper was one, pests. Yes, we had not mastered pest control, and we wanted to do more organic.
Okay.
But we didn't master the pest control on the organic. So we are still looking at what to do to ensure that we get the pest control. But notwithstanding, we have nest pepper.
Okay.
So we have nest pepper, and we are preparing for the Christmas season. Yes, the whole idea of farming is that you won't get it smooth. Okay. But eventually, when you meet the challenges, you don't run away, you find a solution. So definitely by December, we'll have habanero pepper, and we will show the world the result we got.
Okay.
That's right.
Before we ask about marketing, I can see that you have this disease.
Yeah.
How did you manage?
So this is lack of calcium.
Okay.
A lack of calcium in the soil. So it's coming from one bucket.
Okay.
And the bucket lacks calcium. Yes. So it's just one bucket producing this one. So if it's lack of calcium, then it's nutritional issue.
Okay.
Mainly nutritional issue. So if you can produce calcium in the buckets, this one will be resolved easily. Yes. So apart from this one, there's nothing to deal with. There's nothing to deal with.
So what you are telling me, with 500 cedis, you can do this?
Perfect. And passion.
And passion.
Yes. Because without passion, your money will go waste. Yes.
I can see
and
one
passion.
is ripe.
Yes. This is the last batch of the first group. Okay. The last batch of the first group. So that's our. So with 500 Ghana cedis, you should be able to start this. Even if you have the old dispenser bottles and old buckets, 500 is even more than enough. As long as you have access to water, you can do tomatoes and sell. And if you can sell a box of tomatoes for the Christmas season, it will surely go to around 8,000 or 9,000.
Okay.
So you will make 8,000, 9,000.
About how much do you think is saved on your household?
I cannot.
Because every day we eat tomatoes.
We eat tomatoes every day. And you see, one good thing is that for a very long time, we have not bought tomatoes from the market. For a long, long time, we have not used tomato paste, processed tomatoes.
Okay.
So now when my wife cooks with the fresh tomatoes, now you can tell that this is what we are supposed to be eating. Because now you are not using just straight tomatoes and a lot of tomato paste to do your soup. Now when you are going to do soup, you just pack tomatoes without counting. Okay. So it's really having an impact on our health because we are eating organic, and then on our finance as well. And you see, one thing about the finance is that because you cannot afford to buy it in bulk because of the cost of it, you manage it. Okay. So you manage it, but now you don't manage. We eat as much as we want to eat, and then we are good to go. So tomatoes we don't buy, lettuce we don't buy, cabbage we have not bought for a long time. And then the pepper we harvested the last time, we still have some of them in the freezer, and we are going to use it until the new pepper comes out. Okay.
What have you learned about this particular tomato that we don't know about?
So
this variety.
For this variety, I realized that it's efficient.
Okay.
It's efficient. This is what we usually call the Navrongo tomatoes.
Okay.
Yes. With the idea as if it can only be produced in Navrongo.
Okay.
But just that they decided to adjust themselves to this variety.
Okay.
And now in Ghana, there are a lot of varieties of these indeterminate tomatoes around.
Okay.
So if you have access to water, you have good nutrition, you can harvest 1, 2, 3 times before the tomato plant, you discard it. Okay. And so these ones are indeterminate. So we have Rocky F1, we have Padma F1, and we have Sultan F1. So far, these are 3 types that I have come into contact with, and they are all indeterminate tomatoes. So I think that our indigenous farmers should consider these tomatoes. Apart from the ones that we know after harvesting they all die, they can consider this one if they want to harvest all year round.
What about the shelf life?
Perfect shelf life. We've kept these tomatoes for about 2 weeks without fridge, 2 months, 2 months without fridge, without freezer.
Okay.
And it will not turn to water like we know, and it will not be rotten like we know. The only secret is harvesting. So let me show you how to harvest. Let me get a ripe one and show you how to harvest the tomatoes. Okay. So this is a ripe one. So when you are harvesting, I'll show you the 2 types of harvesting. When you're harvesting the tomatoes, you harvest it with the stalk. Okay, so you harvest with the stalk this way. With the stalk on top of it, it prevents it from getting rotten easily. But if you harvest the, the other way around without the stalk, definitely it will start damaging from this point. So you need to keep the stalk on it. Okay. And that is the best way to go. So the microorganisms don't get access into the tomatoes through the hole overhead. But that's the only access they have. Okay. So if you protect it this way, you're good to go. Right. Okay.
I can see you have charcoal here. What do you use the charcoal?
Okay, so the charcoal is actually my filtration system.
Okay.
Yes, because when you are planting in buckets, you need to create holes under the bucket. Let me pick this one.
Okay.
So I'll bend it a little bit so that you can see the holes under the buckets.
Okay.
Now, when you put the soil directly in the buckets, after some time, the soil will clamp under the buckets and the holes will be blocked.
Okay.
When the holes are blocked, you will not get free flow of air in the soil. And then when there's abundance of water during the rainy season, the buckets will be flooded. Okay. So you put the charcoal under the bucket or on top of the holes that have been created. So the charcoal, because the charcoal cannot block the holes, it serves as a filtration system for the bucket. So usually I tell people that you don't just pour the soil in the bucket, you arrange the soil.
Okay.
You arrange the soil. So you do charcoal on the base, and then you put your first layer of soil on top of the charcoal.
Okay.
And then whatever manure or dry matter you want to use, you put it on the soil, which is in the middle, and then you add more of the soil on top of the bucket, and then that is the layer you are going to use. If you don't have charcoal, you can use stones, smaller stones, gravels, just to prevent the buckets from blocking during watering and during rainy season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very good idea.
That's right. That's right.
Like, at least this space there, you can't complain that you don't have land.
No. Even if you are doing just 10 buckets, you can enjoy the 10 buckets in your house and you won't buy tomatoes.
Do you think that now you can face like the actual groundwork, like when you have an acre? Yeah. The experience from here, do you think you can?
Perfect. With the experience from this side, I will prefer maybe buckets or the grower sacks. Okay, to growing in the ground. The reason is water. Because of the climate changes and the climate issues that we are having, there will definitely be water shortages along the way. If you look at the galamsey issues and how it's affecting our water bodies, water will definitely be a problem. So when you are planting in the buckets and you are planting in the rubber, you save a lot of water. So apart from drip irrigation that saves the water, this one, the soil is confined in a small area. So less water is used and then you can get the yield. So with this, we can just translate into a commercial farm. And there are commercial farms that use just the grower buckets in the greenhouse. And I think that is also a very practical way of getting your products.
Do you use fertilizers?
No, I don't use fertilizers for now. Depend on the compost.
From the chicken.
Yeah, from the chicken.
So
yes.
Let's move to the chicken.
All right, that's fine. I'm taking you to the chicken area. So this is just like a demonstration farm.
Okay.
Because the whole idea is to encourage more people to consider the space that they have at home and then do something for themselves. So this is what we call layers. So we have white layers and we have brown layers. They are the point of lay. Now, basically, if you have a small space as this is about 4 feet and then the length of the cage is about 9 feet. So if you have 4 by 9 feet, you can actually have this cage. Now what I did was that the cage is supposed to be a tall one.
Okay.
So it's 4-layer cage.
Okay.
But because of the height, and I do not want to disturb the neighbors so much,
Okay.
so I decided to cut the cage into 2
Okay.
and have it 2 layers on a stretch.
Okay.
Yet it can take 160 birds. 160 birds. So if a household can have this cage, 160 birds laying an egg a day. So let's say basically you have about 140 eggs a day. So if we are doing 3 crates, 30 pieces of egg in 1 crate, and you have 140, you can do about 4 crates a day. How many eggs can you eat as a family? Definitely you have to sell one. So when you sell, you enjoy. You sell, you enjoy. You sell, you enjoy. The main idea is that we can do this in urban areas. So whether you are employed or not, yeah.
I want to understand.
That's right.
You said you were motivated to do the reason for starting.
Yes.
Well, what motivated this one?
The same cost. The cost of egg on the market.
Okay.
Nowadays, most families at the middle belt and below the middle income find it difficult to afford egg a day because of the cost of eggs a day. Many years ago, when we were buying eggs, not even many years, about 2 years ago, a crate of egg was 14 cedis, 15 cedis. Nowadays, it's 60 cedis. It's even more than a minimum wage. Yes, the crate of egg is more than the minimum wage per day.
But
I'm telling you. So if the crate of egg is more than the minimum wage, it tells you that those below the minimum wage cannot afford the crate of egg.
They will buy half.
They will buy half, definitely. And if you have 3 children and each person is taking 1 egg, and your wife and yourself, you are doing 5 eggs a day. Okay. You are doing 5 eggs a day times 3, 30 days. That is about 150. 150, that's about 3 crates and a half.
My aim is to inspire others to also do something. So let's take it from the basics. Like
basics, yeah.
If I'm a newbie and I want to do something like this,
all right.
Well, where do I start from?
Okay, so first of all, you need to read about poultry farming.
Okay.
And then you get somebody to help you understand the whole concept of poultry farming. And then you get training. I am available if you want me to train you, because the birds will come as day olds.
Okay.
So there are 2 ways. Either you buy the day old chicks, brood them, raise them to point of lay, and then they lay, or you buy the point of lay, like these ones. These ones are about 17 weeks old.
Okay.
So they are preparing to lay. Now, if you get a 17 weeks old and they're preparing to lay, it means that you only pay for the cost of the matured birds, and then you wait for them to drop the eggs. Okay. So these are yet to drop the eggs. So we are just preparing them. So for the cost of feed in this era, you can raise to this point about 70 to 75 Ghana cedis per bed.
Wait,
yes.
The entry barrier is either you start
from day old,
or
point of lay.
For a newbie, it's not advisable.
It's not advisable because you have not understood the nitty-gritties yet.
Okay, so the best option is to start from the point of lay. And you are saying that from the point of lay, I can get only 1 chicken for 75 cedis.
Yeah, 75 cedis from the point of lay.
So 100 will be like
7,500.
Wow.
Yes. If you want
that
to
does not include the
no. The cage installation and transport should be around 5,500.
5,500.
Yes.
For just 1 or the 2?
No, for all. So it's supposed to be 160 capacity.
And then you cut it.
I decided to cut it into 2 so that it be convenient for the urban area.
Okay. Exactly. Then you did the roofing.
Yeah, you did the roofing itself.
Okay.
So as for this roofing, they are my old roofing systems. I didn't include the roofing to the estimate. So if you want to include the roofing to the estimate, then you should be looking at around 6,000 for the cage.
Okay.
Yes, I did the carpentry work myself.
Okay.
From the small technical skills I learned in GHS. So there are some things I don't pay for.
You don't pay for.
Plumbing works I don't pay for. Okay. Carpentry works I don't pay for because I can basically do it.
So the fixing of this.
Yes, you have to get an installer. They install 1 cage for 150 cedis.
150
yes,
cedis.
for 1 cage.
Okay.
Yeah, so they will do all the installation for you for 150 Ghana cedis.
So let's say I bought the chicken and I did the whole setup.
That's right.
Then what's next? Feeding.
So at point of lay, they will be taking pre-layer from Kujis, If you are doing Sankofa, they will still be doing grower until they lay, and then you migrate them to the layer mash. So a bag of the pre-layer is around 366 Ghana cedis. 366 Ghana cedis for the bag of fish. So let's say that's the most expensive feed. 366 for a bag. And 160 should be able to do one bag for 5 days.
One bag for 5 days.
5 days.
Okay. And how long would I be cashing out?
So they will be laying for 1 year at the peak period. And then if you want to move to 1 year, 6 months, they can do 1 year, 6 months, but their peak level will reduce a little bit. So basically, we advise that you do maximum 1 year, 6 months, and then you sell them. Now the good thing about this is that when you are giving this as a gift from somebody at 75 cedis, after they lay, you recoup your investment.
How do you call 75 cedis a gift?
Yeah, somebody can decide that for a program I'm having, or for a project, or from a policy, I want to give every household 100 beds.
Okay.
So I'll give you 100 beds. At the 75 cedis times 100, which is 7,500. I'll give you a cage, and I'll give you feed that can last for 3 months. Because after 3 months, when they lay, they can buy their own feed, and you make a profit.
Let's stop assuming, because it won't happen.
Oh, it will happen. There are government policies that can
forget
this
government.
One.
Let's talk about.
Okay, so at the end of the laying period, you sell the beds. Now, when you sell the beds, if you are doing business to household, you can sell this for 100 Ghana cedis to the household.
To the household?
Yes, to the household.
At the end of production?
So at the end of production, the 100 beds will give you 10,000 cedis.
10,000 cedis.
So out of the 10,000 cedis, you take 7,500 to buy another point of lay. Your cage is there waiting for you. This one is going to last until you want to destroy it. That's what I'm saying. If somebody gives you a gift, you can recycle the gift, and you don't have to go back to the person again. Exactly.
I understand.
Yeah.
This particular breed, what is special about it?
So this is Highline White and then Highline Brown.
Which one is the Highline?
Yes, the brown. They produce the brown eggs.
Okay.
And then the white one produces the white eggs. So these are Highline Brown and Highline White. Great.
What's special about them?
Usually, when it comes to layers, there are different breeds. They are usually European breeds.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have the Bovan, we have Highline, we have Isa, and then we have various ones. These ones are the ones available for us in Ghana. So Ghana, we have Bovan, we have Isa, and then we have Highline. So I went for the Highline. Because the company that produced these ones are the one that supplies me with day-old broilers. And looking at the optimization of the broilers, I realized that they can give me good results. So I'm keeping them. And at the end of the laying period, I can tell. But I have supplied day-old chicks to some other people, and they have testified that they are good layers.
Okay.
They are good layers, yeah.
So with the poultry industry, I realized that the value chain is plenty.
Exactly.
And you can make money off all of them.
That's right.
Which one are you into more?
So I started with broilers.
Okay.
The meat production.
Okay.
Because one, it's easy to start. Not necessarily easy, but the cycle takes about 6 weeks to 7 weeks to mature.
Okay.
So even if you make a mistake, at the end of the 6 weeks, you will cry small, and then you will learn your lesson.
Okay.
So I started with that one, and as time went on, I decided
Tell me about that experience.
So the experience is that one, you have to learn how to brood the chicken, because they are very delicate. They are meat production, so basically they produce meat. Okay. So every feed they eat, they use it to produce feed, to produce meat. There are challenges you have to beckon with. One has to do with disease prevention and disease treatment.
Okay.
And then 2 has to do with optimization. Their feed conversion ratio. If you don't know the quality of feed on the market, you may not be able to get the result you are looking for. Okay. So at the end of the cycle, you won't get the good weight, and without a good weight, you can't get a good market. If you don't get a good market, you are losing your capital. And then the climate change is a problem as well. Especially in Ghana, the rainy season has stopped.
Okay.
And we are entering into another heat wave. So within that period, if you're not careful, you lose a lot of birds, especially with me that I'm not home. I go to work in the morning, come back in the evening. You are likely to lose birds when you return. So all these things are factors that you just need to consider when you are doing them. But like I said, when you make the mistake and you lose the birds, and you lose a little of your capital, or even you lose all your capital,
The hard way.
yes, you are likely to learn from that and then decide on what to do next. But with the layers, you are going to invest for a period of 5 months to 6 months before you start seeing money. And if you make any mistake, your money is locked for 6 months.
Okay.
And if you don't get the results, you are gone. So most businesses that are involved in layer production, when they are out of business, they are out of business. Because you lose every of the capital that you invest in, and restarting is another problem. So that's why I started with the broilers.
So if I assume that because this one is more profitable, that's why you stopped the broiler.
Oh no, I have not stopped the broiler. I'm doing the broiler and the layer concurrently.
Okay.
Just that the broiler is short term. The profit margin is short term, and then this one is long term. But you see, you need multiple streams when you are doing business, so that while this is moving slowly, this is also moving slowly. Eventually, you are able to get some income to support yourself.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Aside that, let's talk about the broiler. How many quantity did you do?
Okay, so currently I do 100 pieces per cycle, and the cycle lasts for 6 weeks. Yeah, so I do all year round.
So you get the chicks for how much?
The chick currently, the imported one is around 24 cedis for one, and then the locally hatched, which is of the same quality, is around 16 cedis, 17 cedis. But you know, as usual, people want the imported ones because they are coming from Abuchi. Okay. But I prefer the local one because the quality is the same. The difference is your management practice. Okay. So I've been doing the local ones for now. So 16, 17 cedis per broiler. I do Ross 308 broiler. Okay. I do Ross 308 broiler because
and you keep them for only 6 weeks.
For only 6 weeks. After 6 weeks.
Yeah, I thought the chickens they do 6 months before.
No, this ones do the 6 months.
So if you are doing infant chickens.
Okay, no, so it's a combination of different breeds of chicken to get a particular variety, and then the feeding is concentrated. Okay. Yeah, the reason is that if you pick the local chicken and you want to give them concentrated feed, you get the result you are looking for in a short period. The reason is that it has every amount of nutrient the chicken needs for optimization, and then you feed them throughout the day. So in the morning you feed them, afternoon you feed them, at night you give them light, so they don't sleep. So they work throughout their lifespan until they are slaughtered. So eventually you get the result you are looking for.
That's me.
Yeah. You get the result you are looking for. Basically they are for meat production. So if you achieve your purpose, then you are going to the soup or the stew. Okay. Right? So after 6 weeks, I do slaughter. Okay. So I'll slaughter everything and then I'll put it in the freezer. It's unfortunate that my new cycle has not started yet. Okay. But after 6 weeks, you do the slaughter and then you are good to go.
Let's talk about marketing. People complain that if you don't get market for the broilers, then you are doomed.
Yes. The reason is that because the cycle is very short. You want to get the market so that you can recoup a profit. Okay. But the strategy I use is that I don't sell live birds. The strategy I use is that I sell dress birds. So my customers know that I sell dress birds. The reason is that the more you keep the live birds, the more money you spend on them. So as they continue to eat in your house, they are eating your capital and your profit is gone already. So what I do is that my customers know that I don't sell live birds. I sell dress birds. So these are birds I have dressed and then packaged and then I deliver to you. And most of the customers don't want full chicken unless they want to grill it. Because in this convenient environment, they want the thing chopped to soup size and stew size. So I do that all for them. So it's true, if you don't have the markets and you want to start the broilers, get freezers. I'll tell you, get deep freezers. So that you, after the cycle, you put them in the deep freezer and then you market it and sell it gradually. The only thing you do is you pay light bill, extra light bill for the deep freezers.
What about the cost of dressed bird?
Oh, the cost of dressed birds is
full
chicken. Okay, for my farm, I do 120 cedis.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the farm price I can give you. Okay. It includes the dressing, the packaging, but not the delivery.
Okay.
Yes, dressed bird you can get 120 cedis. And if you want the live one too, I'll give it to you at 120 cedis.
And usually, who are your customers?
So I do households.
Okay.
Yes, I do households. For FDA certification purposes, I cannot do the commercials.
Okay.
Because of the compliance are so cumbersome for a startup to be able to meet up. Because you need to have a processing plant, you need to have a processing area, you need to have a processing facility, you need to have a cold house, you need to have a number of things which are very important. Because if you are doing commercial to commercial facilities, they need the quality of the product to be assured. But for households, they will buy and go and slaughter in their house themselves. Okay. So if they want to do the slaughter for them, then it's because they have decided that you do the slaughter for them.
Let's talk about management practices.
Yes.
Like, how do you see this managing this cage?
The
compared
cage,
to
the deep litter.
The deep litter.
The cage is the easiest because the water is automatic. The feeding is controlled. With the deep litter, you have to deal with sawdust. You have to deal with a lot of diseases. So this is perfect. So this is how I manage my litter. You pull your litter out, you collect, and then you are good to go. You pull, you collect. So you will not have problem with stench because the place is clean and you are good to go.
Did these trays come with a setup?
You have to buy the tray.
Oh, okay.
That's the painful part.
Okay.
Yes, you have to buy the tray so that you can get the place nice and neat.
How much did you get the trays?
This is for 26 Ghana cedis for one.
And you need how many?
You need about 20 trays. About 20 trays.
I can't
but if you invest in it, these trays are made of plastic, so they are going to last for a long time. So if you have the setup, so what I always tell people is that if you want to go into the poultry business, get your inputs. Okay. Yes, get your inputs there. Buy the cages, buy the things that
when you say get your inputs, like what do you mean?
The cages, if you want to do deep litter, it means you have to get feeders, you have to get drinkers. If you want to do battery cage, you have to get the battery cage, you have to get your litter trays, and then you are good to go. So when you are ready, you just kickstart, and then we are good to go.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Let's talk about how to get these bad boys making money.
Yeah. So it's a management practice. The brooding stage is crucial. So if you are buying point of lay, you must ensure you are buying from somebody who knows how to do the brooding, because you need to do the vaccination. The Gumboro vaccination, very important. The Newcastle vaccination. You have to do the fowl pox vaccination, and then you have to deworm them as well. And then you have to have a routine medication system for them. Their vitamins must be intact. The medication to treat coccidiosis must be there. Antibiotics must be there and all that. So when the person does all these things, the protocols are observed well, you can get the result you are looking for if you just continue from where the person ended. And that is very important for everybody. It's not an easy way out, but you just need a passion. And with the passion, you can get the result you are looking for.
When this guy start laying, are you sure we are going to get the money? Let's do that breakdown.
Yes, you are going to get the money, because you are going to lay for a period of 1.5 years.
You said the number is what?
So we have 120 here.
120, yes. And they will be laying
an egg a day, let's say 6 times in a week.
6 times.
So let's say you are doing.
And they are 7 days in a week.
They rest.
They also have breaks.
They rest, but they don't all rest at the same time.
Okay.
So they rest. They give themselves the staggered rest.
Okay.
All by themselves.
Okay.
That's
so
right.
This 120, right?
Yeah.
They'll be laying averagely. So 120 by 6.
Yes.
How many?
So let's say we are doing 120 eggs a day.
Okay.
Let's assume we are doing 100%,
okay.
which is not really practicable.
Okay.
You can do 85 to 90%. So let's say you are doing 100%.
Okay.
So let's say you are doing 120 eggs a day. Okay.
Let's assume 80%. That's 100 eggs a day.
100 eggs a day. So you are getting 3 crates of eggs
plus
and then
10.
plus 10.
Okay.
So let's say averagely you are selling the crates for 50 cedis for the smaller size.
Okay.
So you are doing 150 cedis a day. Okay. If you are doing 150 cedis a day, you will eat the 10 in the house. So you are doing 150 cedis a day. So at the end of the day, you have 150 cedis, and then you are doing that for 6 days.
150. Wait, oh.
So 2 days is 600, 300. 4 days is 600. So you are doing 6. You are doing virtually 900 cedis a week.
Okay.
Okay, for the 100 eggs.
100 eggs. Okay.
And you are doing 1 bag a week if you are doing the 100 beds.
Okay.
That's 366 out of 900 cedis. So let's say if you are doing 400 in out of 900, you are having 500 Ghana cedis for a week.
Okay.
And this 500 Ghana cedis, you are going to keep the 500 Ghana cedis to pay for the money you use to buy the beds. And when you are able to pay for that money, then the rest is your profit. But like I said, you can keep the 500 Ghana cedis as your profit, because at the end of the cycle, you will sell the spent layers and then you recoup the money you used to invest in them. That's the joy. But it needs passion and it has its own challenges.
So that's a month you are making like 2,000 Ghana.
Exactly.
You wouldn't say that job no day.
No job day. The problem is the initial capital.
Yeah,
the problem is the initial capital and the passion as well. And then the area you want to invest. No, most people don't see this as something easy to do.
You know why? Because you people complain too much.
That's the point.
The feed is too expensive.
It's everywhere. The people at the market too, they are complaining that people are not buying on Christmas days. So after they complain, before they complain, you not venture into that area. So I always tell people, whilst people are complaining, people are still venturing into that area. So why would you venture and also
sometimes
complain?
When the complaint is too much, you fear.
Yeah, it's true.
Another one too is the disease. The fear of losing your capital to this foul disease and stuff. How do you mitigate that?
So as for there's risk, and poultry farming is high risk venture.
Okay.
So if you are entering to poultry farming, you keep in mind that it's a high risk venture. So if you are investing all your money here and then you have problems, you are going to suffer. So you keep that one in mind. There's been several losses that I have had, but it's part of the business. So I tell people, when you are entering into the poultry farming, understand it's high risk. So when the risk comes, don't run away. Just get used to the risk. And I think that is the best way to go. So we should just get used to the risk. What I realize, people don't like risk, and people don't like to lose. It is out of losing that you gain. It's out of failure that you win. So we win because we have failed before. And this didn't come out easily. It came out of succession of losses. And I can tell you, I started this one not as a poultry farmer.
Okay.
It was after the COVID-19 period, when the lockdown was over.
Okay.
Then we decided that we don't want to buy chicken again. We want to raise our own chicken and eat in the house. But it was no layers. So we did the black and white. It's called Plymouth. Usually you see the Abuchi people selling it.
Okay.
So after doing it, we realized that, if we survive with the Plymouth, why don't we try broilers? We tried. It was a disaster. A disaster for almost about 6 months.
Why?
After 6 weeks, the birds were like Sunday school children. And we were buying medication. In fact, we were spending all our money on medication because we didn't know how to control the diseases and all that. We were spending money on medication. So after going through it, listening to people, watching videos, attending seminars and training, we realized that there was something we're not doing well. And if we had given up at the initial stage, we wouldn't have gotten to this place. So it was realized that we were not doing something well, and then we were able to make our way out. So that is the whole idea. That's the whole idea.
So between this and selling this day-old chicks, which one is profitable? Which one would you say is the cocoa season of all?
Day-old chicks is the cocoa season. Day-old chicks is basically the cocoa season.
Really?
Yes, if you have the customer base, they will chase the cocoa season. The reason is that, one, your profit can be quantified at the beginning of the cycle.
Okay.
You know that when I sell one day-old chick, I get 1 CD per chick. So if I'm selling 2,000, I get 2,000 CDs per customer. So selling day-old chicks is the cocoa season. If you have the customer base, that's the only problem. If you don't have the customer base, then you may not make the profit. But if you have a customer base that you have people who are ordering maybe 2,000 birds a week, you are making 2,000 CDs a week. You don't do any work. You just go and pick the birds from the airport, or you go and pick the bird from the importer or from the hatchery, and voila, you deliver. And you don't pay the delivery fee as well. The customer pays the delivery fee.
Okay.
So they will check sales.
What does it take to start the delivery
of
the day-old chicks?
It's marketing.
Marketing.
So you need to market. So when you get the customers, then you need capital. Now the reason you need capital is that, let's say as we are entering into the Christmas season, most of the big agents who have the capital will book the day-old chicks.
Okay.
So if you are waiting for the customer to pay before you go and book, when the customer have paid the money, when you go there, they actually will tell you that they don't have day-old chicks.
Okay.
So you need to also pay for the day-old chicks, so that when the customers are giving you the money, then you give them the date that the hatchery gave to you, and that is the only. So that one is capital intensive. Otherwise, you collect people's money, you eat, you enjoy your profit out of the money, and when the day of delivery comes, you cannot deliver. Then you become a con man.
Okay.
So if you have your capital, you are good to go. Because customers will say, I want 1,000 broilers for Christmas, but they won't send you the money. And they will ask you, what day do you want? Say 20th December. Okay. They will call you 19th. I am ready. Should I send the money? Send the money. When they send the money, you call the hatchery. The hatchery says,
okay.
so that's the only challenge.
What are the risks involved in selling the DUETs?
Hey, that one too, the risk is high. One, it is possible that you are going to lose the chicken. I've lost a lot of DUETs in my house here. Okay. I brought them from the hatchery. I kept them in the morning. I'm going to deliver to a customer in Takrade. And by morning, you wake up and all the birds are gone. So what it means is that you have lost everything. And that loss, it shook the foundations of my business. Because I'm going to pay the customers money for them. And everything is gone. And sometimes you can also send birds through the transportation system we have. And the driver will do something along the way, and then there will be mortalities. The customer will demand the money from you. Okay. So because you don't want to lie to people and deceive them, always you have to pay for all those damages. And that is one major risk. Okay. One major risk. And then also, if the hatchery is not a trusted hatchery, you can order for a particular breed of chicken, and then you mistakenly get another breed of chicken supplied to a customer. They will raise them to a period of time and realize that no, you are giving them a wrong chicken. That one, you are going to pay for the day old, you are going to pay for their feed, and if there are other damages attached to it, you are going to pay. So eventually, if you are not careful, you can lose all your capital and even be in debt if you are dealing with DUET chicks.
Are there hatcheries in Ghana?
Yeah, there are a lot of hatcheries in Ghana.
A lot.
Even there are Chinese hatcheries in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
There are hatcheries in Ghana. And I like the Chinese hatcheries because they are consistent with quality.
Okay.
And then they are business-minded people. Yes, when you are doing business with them, they are consistent. They don't joke with their money. They don't joke with their product. They don't joke with their quality. Okay. So it's there. And we have local Ghanaian hatcheries as well. And then we have local and international partnerships as well in Ghana. So DUET Farms, they do hatchery. Acro Farms in Koforidua, they do hatchery. We have Kujis. They have a subsidiary that also do hatchery. We call them the Coopers.
Okay.
And then we have the local ones, and then we have the Chinese ones as well available.
So among all this chain, if you are to advise somebody, which one would you say?
So the Chinese are cheaper. The other ones are expensive because Chinese, they will surely find a way to get a thing for you at a cheaper price, but of the utmost quality. Okay. So theirs are cheaper. The rest of them, the quality is also top notch. Just that it's quite expensive compared to the Chinese ones.
Okay. Let's talk about marketing for the tomato. How did you market for the tomatoes?
Okay, so we use the social media marketing strategy.
Oh, you have a page?
Yes, you have a page. DUET COIHAG Farms
on TikTok.
Yes.
So guys, go follow DUET
COIHAG Farms on TikTok.
Farm. And you know, the name is it's a long acronym, so I'm finding it difficult.
So DUET is to myself and my wife.
Okay.
And the COIHAG is captain of Israel's host and guide.
Hey, also for fun.
Yeah, no, it's one of the Baptist hymnals that I loved so much when I was growing up as a Christian. Captain of Israel, host and guide. So it became something that I was working with. Okay. So on Instagram, you have DUET COIHAG Farms. When you go to LinkedIn, you have DUET COIHAG Farms. Facebook, DUET COIHAG Farms. I think the only thing we are not doing is the X.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think you have another.
Yes. So I will show you. So the whole idea is urban farming.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll show you a batch. Yes, I'll show you a batch of layers I have. So this is a garage. Okay. So what I've done is
converted your garage.
Yeah, just that the chickens are very stubborn. They have taken off all the papers. So usually what I do is that I will cover the whole floor. So the whole floor is covered with a tarpaulin.
Okay.
Okay, so that the floor is not affected by the activities of the chicken. Okay. And the walls are also covered with stickers.
Okay.
So that the walls are also clean. So at the end of the cycle, what I do, at the end of the cycle, I repaint the whole place.
Okay.
Yes, so you repaint the whole place and then you restick the stickers there so that at least you will be able to get the place intact.
How old are this one?
So these ones are 11 weeks old. They
11?
are white layers, 11 weeks old.
And the quantity?
These are 126.
So what's the plan? You are going to change those ones?
So this is actually the succession plan for the older ones.
Okay.
So what is going to happen is that after these guys have laid for a period of time, I'll have to sell them off.
Okay.
But whilst I'm selling them off, I need to maintain my customers. So these ones will start laying, meet up with this guy during their peak period. When these guys are out of the place, these people have entered their peak period, and then the succession continues. So after this cycle, another cycle is going to follow.
Okay.
Exactly, so that the succession continues.
That means you don't intend to stop anytime
No,
soon?
no, no, no. In fact, I'm even moving all of the chicken from this place
to
a bigger place.
Oh, okay.
So this is just like a demonstration farm.
Okay.
And as long as I've gotten the result, I'm going to move all of them to a bigger place. The next time you come around, you have a bigger place, and then you have more of the chicken, maybe in thousands.
Did you have any mortality?
No, yes, I have 2 mortalities here at the day-old level. Day-old level. Okay. Mortality at day-old level.
Then the brooding level there, you're a master now?
Yes, because I've done it for quite some time now. Okay. So I can close my eyes and even brood the animals.
I can see your water is in.
My water is in now, yes. But you can't do business with this water because it's very expensive.
How much for it?
120 Ghana cedis for a tank.
Wow.
And if you are doing the business with this one, it means that every week, if you're not careful, you use about a tank.
Okay. And
that is too much for us. Water is supposed to be cheap in Africa or in Ghana because of the abundance of water bodies, but it's a problem. So somebody says that you don't need rain to plant, you need water.
Yeah.
So whether it rains or not, you can plant. But if you have abundance of water, I think that we can do. So what I'm considering is that when I move them to the next area I want to do the farming, I'm considering a borehole. I'm considering a borehole.
You said something, the water management system in your houses, you don't waste anything.
No, we don't waste water.
So run us through how the whole thing
Okay, so this is what we do. The water we use for the catfish. You know, we have a catfish. I'll take you to the catfish. Let's go to the catfish session.
Okay.
I've sold almost all of them.
Okay.
But I have a little of them available. We are going to the catfish session. All right, so as I told you, the water problem, so the water is a bit dirty. The reason why the volume of the water is low is because this is what we fetch to water the crops. Okay. So what we do is that when we buy the water or we get the water from the Ghana Water Company, then we use them for the catfish.
Wait, so the chlorine, how do you treat that?
So what you do is that when you fetch the water, you leave it down for about 2 hours. The chlorine will settle down, and then you use the water for the fish. So you don't pump directly into there. So utilize the water for the catfish, and then you fetch the dirty water. You know, you have to change the water every 3 days if you are doing in such a small place. Okay. So you fetch the water and then you use the water for the crops. And then the chicken will drink some of the water and they will give you manure. And the manure, you use the manure too for the crops.
So the chicken will drink?
Yes. And they will
whilst these ones will use the water. But you use these ones to water the crops.
Yes, to irrigate
then
the crops.
you use the manure to fertilize the crops.
So at the end of the day, whether the chicken are drinking your water or the catfish are using your water, you are using the water to do other stuff. To do other stuff. And then
what was the capacity here?
So I have about this is about 80. I have 80 here.
You had 80.
80 here, and I have about 10 down there. So 90 in all.
So you sold them to
yes, to household. Me, I do households because of the capacity.
And also what on the
so I sell 3 smoked catfish for 100 cedis.
Okay.
And that is the large size, and the medium size I do for 400 cedis. And my customers love it because it's pure organic.
Okay. What do you feed them?
Conventional catfish feed.
Oh, okay.
Conventional catfish feed. So that's what I do. Don't mind them. So,
I can see you have a lot of crops.
Yeah, I have contemporary here.
Contemporary.
We have not bought contemporary for the past 2 years. It's all in buckets.
I like
so urban farming is possible, and I think that a lot of people should consider it. But I realize a lot of people have interest, but they don't have the passion.
Okay.
Because they want to start a thing and they want it to succeed. Immediately they start. Yeah. But it doesn't matter how much you have been trained in it, you still have challenges to be con with. So work at it, know why it didn't work, and then they are good to go. So I encourage a lot. Oh, everybody is encouraged.
So far, have you had any problem with neighbors?
Frankly speaking, most of my neighbors don't know I have a poultry farm here.
Wow.
Because there's no stench, and these guys, they don't talk.
Yeah, I can testify to that.
There are people who came around looking for the poultry farm. They used the Google location.
Yeah.
And they came. They asked everybody.
I thought
around.
I would have seen the sign.
That's right.
I didn't see anything.
That's right. They came around and said, "Oh, I came to your place. Why is it a scam?" I said, "No, it's not a scam." I said, "The house be in front, opposite the school." They said, "No. That house doesn't look like a house that has a farm inside." I said, "There's a farm inside the house." So the small gate, when they open the small gate, and then they go like, "Wow, there's a farm here." And say, "Yeah." So it's possible. So my neighbors, most of them don't even know I have a farm here.
Well, what's your final word to your friends and colleagues, your brothers out there?
All right. So my final words are simple. Urban farming is possible, and there's money in farming. With a little one I have done here, I can tell you that at least little profit have come out of it, even though it has been reinvested into the business. So if you are considering entering into farming, it's going to be something great. I always tell people that had it not been that my calling is in Accra, I would have moved my entire family from Accra and then found some place for farming, because we would have made billions of cedis and we will come to Accra and enjoy. So I want to encourage everyone who is interested in farming, livestock farming and everything, just do your best and be part of it. There's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to enter into goat farming. But you know what I've done? I'll show you.
No.
I've decided to get the feed before the goats will come, because I've not gotten the capital for the goats yet. Okay. But I have hay ready, and I'll show you the hay.
I've seen the hay here. I forgot to.
That's the hay.
So where are you going to keep them?
I'm taking them to the land I'm going to use for the farming.
Okay.
So I have the hay here. They are dry and they are perfect for the animals.
Okay.
But I have not gotten the goat yet, but I have the hay.
Wow.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, if I get the goats, I'll use it. If I don't get the goats, I have not lost anything, because I didn't buy the hay. I went to cut the grass, dried myself, and did the binding myself. Okay. So everything is possible. So whether you're talking about groups or individuals, or as a family, or the nation is considering policies, farming is possible at every level of life, whether you are in the urban area or rural area. So I want to encourage everyone, let's do the farming and feed ourselves, feed our family, and then we can have the financial freedom we are looking for.
Before you go, tell us about the services you provide.
Okay, so I train individuals, so I do one-on-one training. Yes, and you know what I do? The one-on-one training is not even expensive. I only charge 100 Ghana cedis. Okay. For one-on-one training. So if you want to come home, if you want to do online, I do one-on-one training for 100 Ghana cedis. I train groups. Okay, so women groups, especially imaginary groups, people with disabilities, I train them. I train children. So it can be a school or an institution. You want to teach their children about bucket farming and urban farming, I train them. And then anybody who is interested in pushing this farming to every part of the country or the world, I'm there to also help you to do. So that's what we offer so far. That's right.
What about the day-old chick? You didn't talk about that.
Yes, so I supply day-old chicks as well. Every form of day-old chicks we have available. We have turkeys, we have ostrich, we have broilers, we have cockerels, we have layers, we have imported ones, we have local ones. When you come, we tell you these are imported, these are local. You choose the one that is okay for your pockets. We have fresh chicken for sale all year round. We have broilers for sale all year round. We have eggs for sale all year round. We have organic vegetables also for sale all year round. So we want to encourage every one of you, look for DUET COIHAG Farms, anything concerning agric, anything concerning agribusiness, anything concerning farming, look for DUET COIHAG Farms, and I believe that we'll be able to meet you at the point of your need.
So the water is here.
Yes, my water is here, so you can see the tomatoes were struggling, so you can see my water is here. So we are pumping the water. This is very expensive, but we don't have any option. We have not gotten water for the past 1 month. So we are pumping the water. And as a farmer, I feel bad to see the water spilling, but there was a small leakage in their tap. But because this one can water my tomatoes and they will come back to that.
I swear.
And they will come back to that. But it's all part of it. It's all part of it. So you look for DUET COIHAG Farms, any service you need in agric, and then we are good to go.
Okay.
We are good to go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much also for coming around.